I honestly feel like saying how much I've missed you guys cannot effectively and efficiently express how much I've actually missed you guys. I mean, look at how I'm coming on camera right now. Without rhyme or reason, I am just here. And I am so happy to be here. Guys, so much has happened. So much has happened since the last time that we spoke. I think the last time that we spoke, the last video that I put out was probably filmed still like a few weeks to the wedding. Bruh. My good brothers and sisters in the Lord, when I say that a lot happened at the wedding for us to get to the point of the wedding, I'm not joking. I've been putting off making this video because I felt like it would be best to make this video when I'm settled into the house. You know, I found my bearings, but I'm realizing more and more that it might take so long for that to happen, and I don't want to keep delaying it. I feel it almost feels like, you know, it feels like delaying a testimony, really. So I've decided that however it is that this video comes out, however disorganized it seems, like I might be jumping back and forth when I remember things, we might just have to take it that way, because right now is a chaotic time for me. We're here to move into our house because there's still a few things that need to be done. So right now we're in an apartment. I'll talk about the apartment most likely when we leave, but we've been having a good time, or like enjoying our experience here. It is snug, it is small. The three of us are currently sleeping in the same bed, which is something that I just never wanted in my life, but it has been bearable. Dare I say it has been fun. It almost feels like we're on a family honeymoon, really. That's how it feels, because it's just nice not having to clean, not really having to cook, because I just know that a lot of the upcoming moments in time, in fact, like the whole preface of marriage and, like, you know, all of that and starting a family, there's so many things that you have to do, that you will do in the process of having a family, that are so laborious in nature. So this period in time, we've been here for 2 weeks now, or almost 2 weeks. This period in time has been good, but it was also a very stressful time. But I think this video should be left for some other time. I will talk about this video much later. I'll talk about the experience from coming back and like transitioning into not being at home anymore, and how I feel about it right now, almost 2 weeks down the line. So, wedding. I feel like I had made a couple of videos. If you've not seen any videos from like the whole wedding series Point in Time, I'll put them over here, about like my experience with like wedding planning and stuff like that, and, you know, complained about certain things and etc and etc. But now let me tell you what happened, what had happened. So everything was going very smoothly, to be honest. Like, granted, we had, you know, miscommunications and stuff like that with like maybe, I don't say vendors, because not necessarily the vendors, not necessarily the planners either, but like just human nature. Sometimes you feel like you told somebody something, but then you realize you didn't tell them something. Even within our personal lives, like we had misunderstandings with certain people that would have been involved in the wedding, or that were involved in the wedding, and like there's just a lot going on. But then we were firmly moving towards the direction of the wedding. Like, in I reached June, you know, before the month of June even started, I had scheduled like everything I wanted to do beforehand. I had scheduled like my facial, I had scheduled my nails, like I had scheduled getting my hair done, wanted my hair silk pressed and stuff like that, so that's like it would just be like more manageable and all that jazz. So many things that I had in my mind that were going to happen, so I had scheduled beforehand. Now that's like I'm transitioning into my own space, it'll be so much easier for me to share like organizational and planning type things, because once again I will have my own space and I'll get to like experience that with you guys as well. But yeah, I love to plan, and it was so much fun planning all these things, scheduling things and stuff like that. So we're coming up to the week before the wedding. Let me find out what date that was, because these things are still in my calendar to show you like how efficient I was. Okay, so my plan for the week before the wedding, the week of the wedding, sorry, was the Saturday before, which was on the 5th. I was going to do my facial. On the 7th, I had my wax. On the 8th, I had my silk press. On the 9th, I had my nails. I needed to get my nails done. Cool. So on the Friday, which is the 4th of June, I made the conscious decision, I think actually before the Friday, but I started on the Friday. I think maybe between the 1st and the 3rd of June, I had made the conscious decision that from Friday, the 4th of June, I was going to start fasting towards the wedding, like just for the spiritual protection and, you know, for the spiritual fortification, because I would be ignorant to think that things just happen in the physical and they mean nothing. I don't believe in coincidences. I might be, you know, I might seem a bit whatever, but I just don't believe in coincidences. And I know for a fact that things go awry during wedding season. I think that's something that a lot of people are in denial of, but that happens. So I was like, yeah, I need to fortify myself and all that jazz. Cool. We started, or I started. I didn't really tell anybody about it. Bear in mind that before this, maybe from like at some point in time in May, I had started seeing 11:11 everywhere. And I was always complaining, like the first week it happened, I was complaining about it. I was kind of like, guys, like nobody knew what to tell me. So I just went to the internet, I was Googling different things, like what does 11:11 mean? Obviously everybody has their different interpretations of what it could mean. But there are two things that resonated the most with me because I felt like they just felt right to me. The first one was, if you see 11:11 a lot, it means that a family member that you hold dear that has passed on is present with you. I felt that. I felt like my dad was present in every aspect of everything. I feel like once I started seeing the 11:11, I started to feel like even before I read it, I think that's why the two things that I felt when I saw them written down, I was like, yes, this actually feels like what is going on. The second thing is that you are in a position to receive, and I felt like I was in a position to receive. In the course of like setting up our house and all that, Didi and we've drained so much of ourselves, and we were okay doing that because we had the strong feeling. I had a faith-driven feeling, and so did my mom, that a lot of the things, like we were going to get support in one way or the other. So when I saw that one as well, I was like, okay, cool. So in my mind, the fasting thing was kind of just to secure the things I felt were coming. Cool. I started on Friday, did my first fast on Friday. That night of the fast, my brother called. Like, I'm trying to remember if it's that night or the night after. My brother called and said his ticket had been cancelled. Okay, no, I'm getting it wrong. That Friday, after I ended my fast, I was driving in the evening time. I was driving towards Deji's house, and my car started to jerk. So basically, by the time I got to Deji's house, because it's not far, Deji's family house, it's not far, I had to leave my car there. Like, I had to abandon my car and find my way home somewhere else, some other way, because my car was just not working. I was like, okay. Still didn't take it as much. I was just like, cool, no problem. That's the importance of really being spiritually sensitive, because I feel like certain people, they can tell even before so much happens, and then maybe make the necessary spiritual adjustments, but like I just was not there. The next day came, and that's when my brother called. His flight had been cancelled. He didn't even know his flight had been cancelled at the time. He was just checking to confirm his ticket at that point in time and realized that his flight had been cancelled. Like, okay, cool. On the Sunday, I can't remember what happened. Something happened on Sunday, but I can't remember because maybe as far as I was concerned, it wasn't that deep. Cool. I got to Monday, guys. My laptop basically crashed from water damage. And it's such a weird and ironic story because on my bed, there's like a landing on my bed. I usually put my laptop on the extreme of one end and then everything else is on the other side. So there was Capri Sun. It is not Zoe's fault. It's not Zoe's fault. I want to preface this by saying it's not Zoe's fault. It's not even, I don't even think it's Zoe that drank it. I'm pretty sure it must have been me that drank it, like in the middle of the night or something. I do not understand how, one, the Capri Sun got to the laptop, and two, stuff covered both the laptop and the Capri Sun. So that means the water damage and everything had been happening overnight. It was when I was getting my wax that my sister noticed that my laptop was moist. Obviously, by this point in time, we put it in, we turned it upside down and everything was not coming on. That was on Monday. On Tuesday, what happened on Tuesday? I wish I was writing all these things down. On Tuesday, I got my silk press. Before I left, like, this is me saying at that point in time, I'm like, do you know what? I actually did stop fasting, which is my bad. I actually did stop fasting. I think I didn't fast on the Tuesday. But that's because I had started medication for something, so I couldn't fast anymore. So I think God kind of understood. So I was still in the spirit of fasting, but I wasn't physically like limiting my food or anything like that. So I think technically I was still fasting because I was still doing my prayers and everything like that. Cool. I got a silk press. This is from the same place that I got my first silk press. The same process I feel like they went through. I don't really know what went wrong. By the evening time, my hair was already puffing back up. I was just like, wow, this is cute. This is amazing. On the Wednesday, did my nails. Everything was fine again. I think at this point in time, I was starting to sense some kind of pattern. I was like, yeah, there's something off. There's something going on right now. Cool. I was already frustrated. Like, I was thinking to myself, like, money we don't have, or rather, let me say me, money I don't have. My laptop is like my livelihood. Barefoot, all the things that I've been hesitating to put out there because of the wedding period in time, things I've been working on for the months that I've just been like quiet, are all on this laptop. The table arrangements for the wedding, that's the one that really pained me. I honestly feel like that is the reason that the devil took that laptop at that point in time, specifically for that table arrangement. Because I worked for the whole week before. I was arranging tables for people. I really wanted to make sure that everybody was seated next to people that they knew, that the parents had their friends sitting close. Like, I worked hard. And this was something that I knew that my planner could have done, but I wanted to do it because it felt like a labor of love and it felt like something that was really personal. I did it though. To send it now, I could not send it to the planner. So it was at the point where there was just so much confusion. We could not tell who was on any table, and that was one of my biggest fears. My biggest fears for the wedding was like an overflow. It's something that I worked actively, like in different things, up to the point that sometimes we'd have to lie to our parents just to make sure, sorry to any of my parents, in-laws and parents' mother that are watching this, just to keep numbers like to a minimum because we knew what we wanted. Everything just felt like it was just going down the drain. I was still holding myself, like I was still like, do you know what? You know, we can make this work. It is well. Like, I was kind of it is welling, but I was not feeling it in my chest that it was well. I just was ignoring it, and that's something that I do a lot. Like when things are not going my way or like a lot of traumatic things are happening, I'll just push them to the back and be like, yeah, I'll deal with it later. That's pretty much what I was doing. On Thursday, we had like a party in my house. A lot of my friends had now come in from like out of town and stuff like that, so we had like an arranging party. We're basically doing like, you know, those almond sweets that they put on tables at the wedding and stuff like that. My mom and my aunt, they were really excited about the idea of having these candies on the tables, so we got all the bridesmaids together. Some of my, who is that? You're already back. Hold on.
They were showing me like 100 chickens here. But we said everything is counted.
Wow. So we had been packing these candies now, and it took a lot of us, it took a lot of time, and eventually we had gotten to the end of this experience and most people had gone home, so it was just like 4 of us left in the house. Tell me why. I had survived packing, cutting, tearing, all these things, and all of a sudden I decided that it's time to sit down in my living room and just decompress, talk to the people that are here before I chase them out and tell them I want to sleep. I sat on my hand and then I pulled my hand out. You know when you sit like this and you just like lift your hand out? This nail literally broke off, and the rest of it that was even still connected, that's my actual nail that was there, moved away. Like it's separated from the nail bed up to the point that my finger was bleeding. I don't consider myself a perfectionist. I don't think I'm a perfectionist. I definitely am not. I like things to be imperfect naturally. I like organic things. But this situation of putting in so much time to prepare for things, when it feels like to you like one thing is going wrong, or like something that you've planned, you've envisioned how you're going to look, and all of a sudden you're literally missing one whole nail and the rest of your nails are long. That can never happen to me. I thought it could never happen to me, because for me, once I fix nails and one comes off, I will take off everything. If I can't fix that one, I will remove everything else, because it's important to me that certain things have symmetry. Cool. Now I was without a nail. I did not realize it was so painful, but aside from being painful, like, it was so emotionally painful for me, because it just felt like the climax of everything else that had been happening. And it's so funny because it's probably the least important thing that happened out of all the things that I've mentioned, but this was the one that was like the catalyst for me. I was just like, nah. I went into my mom's bathroom. Zizi came with me to clean my hand, to put a plaster on it, and then she just left me to have some space, and I cried. I cried for a long time. I cried for at least an hour. I was just weeping. I didn't even like, normal me, I try my best to cry very quietly, because I think crying, like, especially sad crying, makes me feel embarrassed. So when I'm crying, I try not to make myself look ugly. I don't know how else to say it, or like to sound too pitiful. I don't like when I feel like I look and sound pitiful. So eventually, Obuse came to come and meet me. She spoke to me, she prayed with me, and I was just like, yeah, as in I feel better for now, but like, I'm just not liking the trajectory that things are taking. As far as I was concerned, it was just so ominous. Like, it just felt like, God, is everything just going to be going wrong up till the day of the wedding? That's Thursday now. Friday came. Everything that happened during the day happened. I can't really remember. I think we went for like, did we go for your fittings on Friday? Friday before the child. We went for his fittings. We just did a couple of things, like a couple of last minute things. And then I had to move to the place that I was staying. So earlier on in the day, I went there to drop off my things with Zoe and stuff like that. Came back home, and then later on in the evening, I went back and I had some time to myself. So we're supposed to be getting ready for the mother's night, which is like basically like the bridal shower for the moms, or for my mom rather, the mom of the bride really. And I just like, I had a shower. I was waiting for everybody to kind of get into the house, like my bridesmaids that were staying with me in the house. And I went out to the balcony and I sat and I started writing in my journal. And after I had written for a little while, there was like music playing, like I was playing like gospel music and stuff, because I just felt like I just really wanted to be surrounded. I wanted to be surrounded. I didn't feel like I was surrounded at like before that point in time. So I felt like I needed to get myself to the point where I was spiritually happy again, and I felt the energy. I felt the energy that was necessary to go on with the next day, which was Saturday. So that's how I was writing in this journal, and then I looked up. It was an amazing view. I was just looking, I was really in my feels, and all of a sudden I just remembered that like not too many years ago there was a point in time that I was writing in a journal as well, but I was writing about like heartbreak and like sadness and like feeling like things were missing, and a lot of those things were also connected to this person. I know it's insulting. I don't used to insult my husband, but they were connected to DJ, and it was so crazy to me that like now 3+ years down the line, I'm still writing about this person, but I'm writing about him like it's a completely new story. And I still have like the journal entries. Like I have the journal from that point in time. I was so heartbroken. Like I'll literally write things like, oh, I just passed Stage's house again and stuff. It was such a, you know that song, Driver's License? It's literally like driver's license. So yeah, and when I realized that, I think that was like my moment before the wedding where I had like so much clarity, and I felt so grateful. I felt so thankful to God for like the journey that He had put us on, and like it just made me realize that regardless of what was really going to happen, like we were going to be here and we were going to get married. And I feel like sometimes with wedding planning and stuff like that, you kind of lose sight sometimes of the little things, or the things that seem little but are actually more important. And I feel very strongly that I lost sight of a lot of that, not intentionally. I tried my best to stay focused, but sometimes these things happen. But that was like a reset for me, because like I cried. It's a theme. You will realize that this is a theme in my life. I cried, but I was very happy. I was so thankful, and it was the only way at that point in time that I could see to let God know that I was so grateful for this journey. It felt like such a full circle moment for me. So the day itself was very emotional. I feel like it deserves its own video, so I'm going to stop here, especially because this video is already 30 minutes long, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to make it in any way, shape or form shorter. But I didn't want to come back to making regularly scheduled videos or anything like that without first speaking about the different things that I felt happened that got us to the point of completion that we are in now. I will be back to speak about the day itself, hopefully insert some clips in here from like the different videos and stuff that my friends made, because we don't have the video for the wedding just yet. And then I will talk about the next set of drama that we faced right after this other. In fact, I'll be here to talk about everything, but I just wanted you guys to know that I'm doing well, I'm happy, I'm good. I mean, like I'm stressed, but like a good kind of stress. I won't say who is stressing me. It's definitely not Zoe, so I'll leave it at that. But Zoe's writing exams, so that's also, you know, stressful mostly for her, not really for me. But yeah, we're good, and I miss you guys so much, and I can't wait to be back to posting again. And as I leave, I want to tell you not to forget once again that you are sugar, you are spice, and you are bomb as shallow fries. Love you! Well, my voice is a bit cracked, just in case nobody noticed. Let me say it so that people can pity me. Bye!